you guys can hear it. I hope you guys can hear it. But yes, we are back. Again, shout out to me. And first thing I'm gonna say is I'm sorry, but shout out to me. I have to work up the courage to do this and bring this back. However, this will be season 2. But even then, I forgot. Introduction, duh. It's Eli, the Marfan homie, back with the Marfan homie podcast. First and foremost, I am sorry. Let me apologize. Second and foremost, we are back. This is season 2. I hope you guys caught up on season 1 because season 2, we're going to bring you new and better things. So yeah, let's scratch that beginning of the video. I'm going to keep it anyway though. So this is episode 1 of season 2. I'm going to call this one, What's New for Season 2. So, what's new for season 2? But before we even get into that, let's take a pause. Let's do a recap. So what's happened since my last episode or posting of my last episode? A lot has happened. I don't even know where to start. Just know that we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna drop little things here and there. Of course, this is all about transparency and just putting things out there and letting people know what life has been like since. But 2024 was a doozy. That's where we're back here in 2025 and trying to have a better and more positive outlook on things. But 2024 was a doozy, as they say. So, what else do we have? So what's happened since? So again, if you haven't caught up on season 1, you'll definitely catch things there. Season 2, I'm still saying what's happened since. I wanna not drop it all in the first episode. I just wanted to serve this as an introduction. So with that being said, please stay tuned. Because everything that happened last year, I'm going to put into an episode, and of course related back to Marfan syndrome, because a lot of those things that did happen last year, I can relate them back to Marfan syndrome. And I want to create this as a more personalized podcast and things of that nature. So that's another thing or another poll or question that I'm going to have for you guys later on in the season is, should I try to convert this away from Marfan? Should I try to relate everything that I'm going through in my life back to Marfan syndrome and how I cope with it and how it's either good or bad for my health and stuff like that? So what happened last year? What didn't happen last year? I think I can tell you January 1st, 2024, we took a trip to California. It was my first time in California. And we hiked up the Hollywood sign, as I said, but we hiked the mountain that goes up all the way to the Hollywood sign. And basically, by the time I got back down, my knee was on fire. My knee was practically on like flames. It was on fire. So that was the thing. So I went through that for like the first. Honestly, my knee didn't get right till about August. No, not even that. I take it back. It got right, and then I had a biking incident. I overdid my same knee on a bike. I went to go group biking for the first time, and I was trying to keep up with them. And that didn't turn out so well. I ended up messing up my knee for like another 2 months until it just went down by itself. As you can tell, I really didn't go to the doctor, which I should have. But what's next? Let's go to what's next. What's next is season 2 of the podcast. I want to be able to become even more transparent about Marfans and the things that I have went through, the things that I'm going through, and things that I foresee in the future. And again, I don't want to foresee any surgeries. I'm tired of surgeries. I'm done with surgeries, so let that be the last of that. But those are some of the things that I want to, practice through this podcast that translate through my personal life. Because again, as I put these episodes of these podcasts out, people are going to see them and they're going to tend to ask personal questions. So I want to be able to talk freely about Marfan, about my life experience with it, and how I've gone through my ups and downs with it, and how it's affected everything that's in my life, if you understand what I'm saying. What's another thing? So alright, let's get into it. Because it's so much that I want to say, but I don't want to put it all in this first episode. But best believe there's so much that I do want to say. So future episodes. So with the future episodes, I do have planned more interviews. Like you probably saw last year, I did 2 interviews last year. One with my older sister, and then another episode with another young lady that has Marfans, and she's living through it. That is a part 2 episode. So if you haven't gotten a chance to listen to that, please go and check that out. Her name is Jamie, so you'll see her name in the title. Shout out to Jamie. So let's applaud Jamie for being the first guest with Marfans on the podcast. I believe she was. Yeah. So yeah, future episodes, future interviews. I do want to get the younger generation, like my nieces and nephews that do have Marfans, and how, again, like school is not the same, or I hear it's worse, but school is not the same as when people my age were in grade school and stuff like that. So I want to see the perspective of my nieces and nephews. Like, again, one of my nephews now, he turns 15 this year, and he's honestly on his way to being 6'5", 6'6", and he's playing basketball. And he has a case of Marfans that, as I've talked to his brother, his dad, my brother, his dad, that this man is doing great as far as all the internals and everything that normally attack Marfan patients. He seems to be doing very well. Again, I remember when he used to come down here to Texas a couple years ago, 2 years in a row. He was playing his heart out. Wow, bad choice of words. However, I see like highlight clips of him, and he's doing great. Like I said, he's on his way to being 6'5", 6'6", 15 years old. I mean, again, with all things considered, I wish him the best. I wish him to go as far as he possibly can. If the pros, if the NBA is where he ends up with the case of Marfans, then that's where he's meant to be. If it's not, I hope he played as much as he can and had as much fun as he possibly could. But again, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm hoping to get like him and his dad either separate or together on the podcast. And well, now we're gonna have to do separate because his brother, my brother, his dad, handful. So yeah, and I know he's gonna wanna take over the show. So yeah, we're gonna get that straightened out. Last year, 11/11, 1994, 2024, your boy turned 30, so applaud that. So yes, I spent 2024 at the age of 29, so now I'm spending 2025 in the age of 30, and it feels good. I turned 31 at the end of the year, so I have so much to do before turning 31. There's so much that I want to do before turning 31. I don't know if Marfans is a limitation, but I try, like again, I think I said in my last season of the podcast, I try not to let it limit me. So, shiny sweatpants, Fashion Nova. I hope you guys like it. I don't know. I hope they're not broken already. So I'm done. Who knows? But yeah, besides the point. Shameless plug, I guess, for someone that's not anyway. But yes, man. So turning 31 at the end of this year. So like I said, I have 11 months to do everything that I want to do, and then that one extra month to reflect on everything that I did and make sure I went in the direction, I'm going in the direction that I do see myself. So that's even a better way to look at it. I have 11 months to do what I want to do, and 1 month to reflect on it. And that seems like enough time to do those type of things. Seems like a pretty bright and fun time. Yes, the one thing that I did want to shout out that is happening, thank the Lord that is happening. How many 95-year-olds do you know? How many 100-year-olds do you know? However, my grandma, love her to death. My grandma, she's turning 95 in February. We're celebrating her 95th birthday in New York. So I will be in New York, whether this episode drops or another episode drops. I will be in New York next month. Right now it's January, so I will be in New York next month. I'm very happy for that. Shout out to my grandma. We all love her grandkids, great-parents, all that. I think as of now we have like 5 generations living at once, so therefore I would really love to get that photo. Really love to get that photo. It don't even gotta be everybody, just grandma, one of her daughters, her daughter, her daughter, her daughter. That's crazy. That's crazy to have such a thing like that. I hope that everybody is able to make it. All my family, all my cousins, all my family, close friends that know my grandma, that call her mom and everything else. I hope Enid, all of that, I hope they come out and support and see her. Let's see. Overall future of the podcast. What can I say about the overall future of the podcast? It's here to stay. I think there's a lot to be done, a lot to be said, a lot of real world things that you can take into account and bring into what's going on. A lot of real world accounts that you can bring into and relate to Marfan as it relates to Marfan. I think there is a lot of excuse me 1 second. See, that's what I was trying to avoid, but I knew it was coming. So a lot of things that we can take into account that are going on in the real world, and as we can apply them to Marfans. There's a lot of real world things that we can apply to Marfans, and I think that those are some of the topics that I'm going to touch on about how we are and how we can be affected. So even with that being said, like I said, I want to bring the real world into the Marfan homie, and so that also puts something on me to where I then have to go actually put myself in the shoes of reading about what's going on in the world, what's going on in America, and see, is it affecting Marfan patients? How is it affecting Marfan patients? Because again, I'm a Marfan patient. I know I like to live in this little world where not too many things affect me, but they do. So that's where I'm gonna take it this season, this year, and seasons and episodes to go on in the future. So yeah, I do want to ask or pose the question: do you guys want me to talk about other things on the podcast, or should I create another channel? Because I know that there has been. Well, me and my friend have been talking a lot about creating another channel to talk about the things that just don't relate to Marfans and the general topics. It's like a general topics podcast type thing, and we're gonna use that channel as a place to just vent, talk, and whatever else. Because we have so much to talk about, so much related and unrelated things that just make sense that nobody really talks about. And again, we like to talk about BS, like we're just straight BSers when it comes time for that. Another thing is I want to create a space where I bring on, and where it's more than an interview, I want to create a space where we're actually talking, around the table. I'm not going to say the name of it, but where we're talking around the table and we're talking about how other illnesses affect us more than just Marfan. So these would be cancer survivors, these would be the Marfan syndrome like affected people. Again, I'm trying to start that up, and I just want to see if that's something you guys are interested in. It's going to be more of like, again, I'm going to have very much more than the one camera shot still and stuff like that. It's very much going to be like a little show, if you might. Very much a little show. So yeah, that's one future thing. I thought about that last year. I thought about it the year I was actually doing the podcast. So that's a lot of things that I thought about since my last recording and my last posting. And even with that, I had to go make sure all my accounts are in order, because like again, last year I took a step back, and again, I think Apple charged me the other day for the podcast thing. So I know that's still in order. I just got to go ahead and set it up, make sure I have all the things for season 2 ready, so when I start posting and start sending these notifications out saying that, hey, come back, we missed you, come listen to us. So yeah, we're gonna be working on that. So like I said, this episode is not too long. I do want to leave you with some words of advice. Again, nothing has changed, same structure. I might add a little something here and there, but I'm pretty much the same structure. So my words of advice, I got my handy dandy notebook. If you guys watch the videos on YouTube, you guys remember this for sure. And this goes back to the podcast and how I let it go, in a way. If there's something that you drop the ball on, pick the ball back up. Simple, right? So therefore I'll read it again. If there's something you drop the ball on, pick the ball back up. And that's essentially saying, try again. There's no harm in trying. Try again. So I feel like I dropped the ball with the podcast. I could probably been much more far along in my podcasting tenor, or whatever the case may be, to pick this podcast back up and try it again. I mean, again, this is something that it relates to me. I'm relatable. I get to talk to people. I get to ease my mind about certain things that are on my mind. So yeah, if there's something that you drop the ball on, pick the ball back up. So we're gonna shoot again, we're gonna try again, we're gonna make the shot, we're gonna keep making shots, we're gonna dunk it, home run, whatever ball you play. That's what we're doing. Basketball, tennis, all that. Any ball. So just pick it back up. So yes. So again, with things are coming back. Things are coming to the podcast. The podcast is coming back, so please stay tuned. Let me see what else I got here. So again, in conclusion, for today's episode, we got new year, new goals. Set the goals, listen to, let me just read it, right? New year, new goals, set the goals, listen to the podcast, and become that better person. And again, that last sentence, become that better person, that's for me and you. So if you had a rough year last year, if you think the year starting off rough this month, or the beginning of this year, whenever you decide to hear this, become that better person. Just pick that ball back up. You dropped off on January 1st, pick the ball back up on January 2nd. You dropped off on February 7th, pick that ball back up on February 14th. Take that necessary break, but don't let it break you. So again, signing off. So let's do shout out to you guys. I hope you guys are listening. I hope you guys are in tune with what's going on. Again, give a applause to you guys. Hope you guys can hear it over the video and the what's the name? If not, I'll fix it. Again, gotta go back into the way of things. Shout out to you guys again. Shout out to my grandma. Shout out to my family. We put the party together for us. I hope everything turns out well with that. How to reach me. So again, got the Instagram, got the YouTube, got the podcast, leaving your comments. On Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify as well. So we're on 4 different avenues that you could basically reach me, and 3 different avenues where you can actually listen to me. So again, that goes subscribe, repost. If you like what I'm saying, if you like the content, please repost it. And then most of all, if you are on YouTube or if any other platform has adapted the bell, so you get a notification when I specifically post, go ahead and put that bell on. And then, I think this year is going to be a very good year. I think this podcast is going to reach a lot more people than it did before. I think there's going to be a lot more people that are relatable with what's going on. And like I said, vulnerability for me is going to reach a lot more people. And they're going to be, if they want to be vulnerable with me or vulnerable with their close-knit friends, I hope I had something to do with encouraging that. And again, if I did, if I didn't, or whatever, or if you just want to ask me a question, please feel free to reach out. So again, I think, don't remember the last the last outro, but again, my name is Eli. I am the Marfan homie, coin the Marfan homie, and this is the Marfan homie podcast, and I appreciate you guys for sticking with me. And again, season 2, thanks for listening. Lots more to come. Be great.